From a possible name change to one smart motherfucker and black holes. Wait, what the fuck? Hello, Magi here, and welcome back to another episode of Interesting Touhou Facts, the series where I talk about facts from Touhou that I find either fun, unusual, or simply interesting. So without further ado, let's begin the Interesting Touhou Facts number 74. Number 5. So when it comes to working, it's always a smart idea to actually do the damn job so you can get paid. Some can get away from that, but it's best not to emulate that. But sometimes upper management puts you into a position where you clearly shouldn't be at, which can make things annoying. This happened to a certain gal for Touhou. Now in Legacy, two moon rabbits descended into Earth, Seiran and Ringo. Now Seiran's part was that she's part of the Eagle Ravi Earth Recon Unit, and this is part of the Lunarian military infiltrators. Now that makes sense and the appropriate person to send for a mission like this. Ringo on the other hand is a little off. Like Seiran, she's in the same unit with the same job to purify the Earth. The difference is that she takes no real direct role in this purification deal, as her job is based on information management and she's in charge of it. It's considered a high-ranking post job among the Lunarian military. Now that's all good and stuff, but doesn't it sound weird for someone who has a job like Ringo to be sent to enemy territory? With a job like information management, wouldn't it make more sense for Ringo to stay in the back line? Again, maybe the Lunarian does things differently from Earthlings and this is a normal deal, but still a little wacky if you will. Number 4. For this fact, we're going to be talking about another member of the Legacy crew, and it's going to be Yarormyr. I think it's her first time being mentioned in the series, so congrats to her. It's going to be revolving her name. Now Yarormyr's full name is Yarormyr Sweet, which should show her kanji spelling at this point. Now this looks a little weird and it implies a Western origin. Yarormyr is phonetically similar to Dreamy, and together with her last name, which in itself is a real surname, is a reference to the English expression sweet dreams. As cool as the meaning is, I have a hard time having said sweet dreams with the thought of Yarormyr blasting me with a bunch of Damaku. Another interesting thing to note would be the weird ass dot in the middle. The dot in the middle of her name is used in foreign names to show where the next word begins, as Japanese doesn't normally use spaces. I see, that's pretty cool. But wouldn't names like Sunny Milk, Luna Child, and Star Sapphire to be considered foreign as their names are Western based, or do I have this concept misunderstood? Number 3. Do you guys remember my last video where I talked about unused game assets and how they were related to Sagami? Well, this fact is going to be related to another hidden or unused stuff, but this time it's about Urban Legend. So inside the game data for Urban, there was a folder called Hanako. This folder can be found that contains 3 sprites of a silhouetted Sumiriko holding her cell phone. It's possible that Hanako was a working name for her or was intended to be her name. Now this poses some question as to why Hanako was changed, if that was the case, mind you. At this point it's more theory speculation, but maybe Zune wasn't satisfied with the name later down the line. Or maybe he just wanted to fuck with us by giving Sumiriko her current name and by making a theorycraft on Sumiriko's relationship to Renko. Either way, it is cool to see that for some time, it was possible that Sumiriko wouldn't be called Sumiriko, but something else. Could be worse, you could have been called douchebag. Number 2. If you guys remembered, I released 3 character profiles for Reddit Taisei, Eren, Kaguya, and Tay. And in the section, I did spell cards as 2 out of the 3 never had a playable appearance. Now regarding the spell card, I want to re-show you one of them. It's Eren's spell card called Esoteric Astronomical Entombing. This spell card is Eren's last spell card before heading towards the last words. You counted it on Lunatic, and if you've gotten that far into the game on Lunatic, then you, good person, are a badass. Now what's so special about this that I had to dedicate this entire fact about it? Well, you'll see soon enough. Let me read you the comments on this spell card. Space is romantic, but that wheelchair man's space is too complicated. Only he can correct his logic now. If it's all his imagination, it's just way too good. Damn it, Zune, you and your little references. In case you're not wary of what Zune is referring to, he's talking about Stephen Hawking. Never stop with the references, Zune. Never stop. Number 1. In case you didn't know, Onis are one strong motherfuckers. Tackle them on in a physical fight and you can kiss your life goodbye. And don't even dare try to take him on in a drinking contest. Let's just say you won't have a liver after that experience. This time we're going to be looking at Suika and what her ability is. Suika's ability is the manipulation of density in sparseness. Rather long for an ability, but let's roll with it. Suika's ability to manipulate density gives her the power to control the density of any given object. To put it simply, assemble and dispersion. As the object's density increases, it heats up, and as it decreases, it turns into a mist. During her spell cards and other attacks, she can also create smaller versions of herself and make herself giant. Mini-me's or big-me's, she's got options to beat your ass, that's for sure. She can also decrease her own body's density to become a mist, as she did during the events of Immaterial, making it impossible to attack her. By doing this all over Gensokyo, she can effectively keep an eye on everything going on. What is this? Big Brother Suika? She can also gather things without shape like people's soul, which caused the incident in the first place. She has also affected the moon as reflected in the sky, the canopy, to make it explode, then take that falling fragments and turn them into a mist as well. But the details as to how are unknown. Great! Now Suika can go Majora's Mask on us. Like we needed more of that shit. Yomu, after striking him with one of her swords, commented that the sword itself reacted strangely. With this power, she was able to assemble the thoughts of people and yokai and made the residents of Gensokyo periodically have a party. Furthermore, with this power, she is able to split up into small pieces and become a giant, and she is able to disperse into the atmosphere. Other than that, she is able to compress her attack and increase her power, and is able to draw the opponent into something like a black hole, and sucking the opponent's power. Out of nowhere, she assembles rocks and health, and the way she throws it can be seen. It seems that she is able to turn a mountain into sand by this power, according to Immaterial. During her mystery attacks on the Miyurin Temple in Wildenhorn Hermit Chapter 9, she was capable of one-hit knockouts without being seen. Unbelievably, in her last spell in Immaterial story mode, Pandemonium or A Million Oni Parade the Night, her spell gauge and her health gauge disappeared, making an unthinkable system intervention model for its usage method. You know you're annoying when your HP bar suddenly disappears. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Which facts were your favorite? Would you have been fine if Sumiriko was actually called Hanako? What do you think Stephen Hawking would say if he ever saw Gensokyo? And are you stupid enough to engage Suika in combat? Like always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please give it a like and subscribe, or else Suika may beat the shit out of me with all her mini-me's. And that sounds really painful and annoying. Either way, this is Magi, and thanks again for watching.